everyone to the Den at Leander High School, where we are going to be underway here shortly. The Round Rock Dragons are visiting the Den tonight to take on the Leander Lions here in 13-6A play. Lions sitting at 8-4, looking to make postseason, and the Dragons as well. Want to mention the sponsors. The platinum sponsor for Leander Lions basketball is Sisk Rob Incorporated. You can find their website, siskrob.com. But they wanted to attribute their advertising time mainly to bradysbridge.org. You can see there on the scoreboard, the website is there. Make sure you take a moment and visit bradysbridge.org. I want to also mention the platinum sponsors for Lion basketball. They include Malik & Company at 512-587-9127, Linton Dental at 512-918-8300, and Amy Maddox with Allstate at 512-257-1753. I'm joined tonight by Martin Cano. Martin, I spoke to Coach Bradley pregame, and we started the stream just a little bit early because I wanted to make sure we got that interview in pregame because it's a good 4 minutes long. Pretty good start to the importance of tonight's ball game with the Round Rock Dragons, who happen to have hung one of those L's on the Lions earlier in the year. And I'll go to that interview now, and when we come back, we'll talk about that and the rest of 13-6A. Okay?
Sounds good.
We'll be right back. Stay tuned here for Coach Bradley. You're listening to Lion Basketball on SHN Sports. Stay tuned. Welcome, Lion Nation. I'm here pregame before the Lions take on the Round Rock Dragons here at the Den. I'm with Coach Bradley, head coach of the Lions. Coach, Friday was a big win. We had Vista Ridge. They were winless in district, but whenever the Lions take on Vista Ridge, you throw the records out, and it was a battle. Talk about that game.
Yeah, anytime we go over there or they come over here, it can be a crosstown rivalry. The fact is they're always prepared, and they play hard and they compete, and we knew it was going to be one of those. We talked about having a balanced attack. We knew that we could hurt them on the interior. Mm-hmm. We talked about not settling on the offensive end, and our guys did a good job of getting the ball where it needed to be, and we were able to come out on top.
Well, and prior to really mostly the second half of that game, we'd been a little sluggish over the last several quarters offensively, and we were able to get ourselves out of that a little bit. Talk about the importance of that going into this last third.
That's one thing, and I think some of the sluggishness that we've had is because we weren't sharing the basketball. We weren't finding the open man. We were forcing some issues and things of that matter. So we talked about it in practice about, hey, you got to use your teammates. You got to get the ball changing sides of the floor. Otherwise, the defense doesn't have to shift and things like that, and they don't have to guard as hard. So we got them out of some of the bad habits that they produced, and it was obvious that we were able to get the win.
The results were there on the court, especially there in the second half.
Yes.
Now, of course, tonight we're hosting the Round Rock Dragons. The Dragons, one of the teams in the bunch there, battling for a playoff spot.
Sure.
In fact, they are one of the Lions' losses in district. We're 8-4. Talk about how important tonight's game is.
It's a huge basketball game. The fact of the matter is this: if we win this and get to 9 wins, that I think ultimately that secures at least a top 4 spot with a 9 or with a 9 win at that point. The fact is we've got to be a lot better on the offensive end than we were the first time we played them. We had 13 turnovers in the first quarter. Can't do that against anybody in our district. So, and I know we will play better tonight and we will respond. I think there's a sense of urgency with our guys, not only tonight but for the rest of the year about meeting some of our goals about being a playoff team and that kind of thing. So hopefully we'll come out strong and put 4 solid quarters together.
Well, and speaking of that sense of urgency, you have a lot of young players on this team, but you do have some seniors that may be playing their last several games of basketball. Talk about how important it is for them to understand that and to really
lay it out there.
Well, one thing we talk to our guys about is, there's a lot of kids that go through their high school career and that never got to go to the playoffs,
right.
Or never got to hold up a gold basketball and say they won a district championship. So it would, honestly, our coaching staff and these younger guys from junior on down, they know that it would be an important deal for these kids, because they put in 4 hard years, and in our programs, it can be real tough in the offseason and things like that. But for them to be able to have the opportunity to go to the playoffs, I mean, they'll remember that for the rest of their lives.
And one last question, Coach, not to get beyond this year, but have you taken an opportunity to look at the new district realignment in 5A? And give us your real quick thoughts, the initial thoughts.
The fact of the matter is this. We were actually in, I guess it was back in 2012. We were actually in Region 4,
right.
And we actually did, back in those days, it was the highest was 5A, and we dropped to 4A at that point. So we're excited about being in that district. I think it's going to be very competitive, and if we get the opportunity to go to the playoffs, we like the path of Region 4, that's for sure.
Well, and you can be battle tested in that district and find yourself in the postseason able to make
there's going to be
run.
There's going to be some pretty good teams in that league, and it's going to be, we get to bring back some of the old rivalry days of us in Cedar Park.
Right.
And so it's going to be fun
Those
to watch.
are exciting.
They were very good games.
But those are down the road. Let's worry about now.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it.
Good luck tonight, Coach.
All right, thank you.
Go Lions. Go get them, Noah.
Coach, you got to.
Welcome back to the Lions dinner, where rather the broadcast. That was the recording of Coach Bradley's pregame interview with me, and we're ready to get underway here in about 6.5 minutes. Martin, we talked briefly about the district standings, but we didn't get into a whole lot of detail with Coach. You want to kind of break that down a little bit while we have a moment here?
Absolutely, Chuck. So we're holding solid in second. We're at 8-4. Vandy is, of course, in first place. They are undefeated at 12-0, but right there with us in second is Westwood, 8-4. Same record. They're a solid team.
We've got the tiebreaker right now.
And we have them still coming up a week from tonight.
Big game.
Big game.
But tonight's a big game, too.
Yes, sir. Right behind both of us, though, is Hendrickson at 7-5, who has been hot of late.
Yes.
With several wins in a row.
Including beating us.
Including us. And then outside of that, like Coach was saying, we have several teams that are at 5-6, and this happens to be one of them. And so if we can hold court, hold serve here, and do what we need to do to win, it puts us in a very good position.
Well, and we know that it's not going to be an easy path, regardless of that 5-6 record. They may not be closing in on our spot, but they are battling for their playoff lives, and a W tonight would go a long way to push them towards that goal if you're a Dragon fan.
And if you have said many times, Chuck, this is an incredibly competitive district. Every game is a competition. It's tough, and we have to be ready to play.
And it gets almost to the point of a dogfight.
Yes,
at times,
yes.
No matter who it is you're playing. And, I think Leander over the decades had got many years of a reputation of bullying teams, and not just in basketball but in other sports as well. And so, teams, they try to give that back, and I always think that it seems like, I watch some teams play other teams, not just the Lions, and you notice that those teams give their best efforts on the nights they're playing Leander. So.
When they come to visit the Lions or we're on the road, they are ready to play.
And if they are able to get a win, they're ready to give you the ribbon about it as well,
absolutely.
No matter who we're playing. So, and maybe that's because the Lion faithful can get a little rowdy as well.
Well, and we hope they do so tonight.
That's right. We aren't called Leanderthals for no reason. So we were about 3:45 away from the tip. Starting lineups, and of course we'll let the PA, the dulcet tones of Mark Sickles, who's often on the broadcast with me, we'll let him do the lineups as well. But we'll go ahead and give those to you now while we still have a few moments. For the Round Rock Dragons, 5'10" sophomore, number 0, Reese Miller. Also in that starting lineup, number 1, 6'2" sophomore, Jalen Brooks, very athletic guard.
Yes.
6-foot junior, Braden Lee, number 2. Jack Peterson, number 4, a 6'3" senior. And then Seth Ford, the main ball handler for the Round Rock Dragons, number 10. He's a 6'1" junior, and he can score as well, especially from the outside, but he also has pretty good ability to drive the lane. For the Lions, the starting lineup at post is going to be 6'3" senior Zach Miller. One of the guards, the shooting guard to be specific, number 10, senior 6'1" Michael Sickles. And I was standing next to Michael Sickles earlier, and I'm wearing boots, and I'm 6'3", almost 6'4" in boots, and he's easily 6'2.5".
Yes.
You know, that might have been 6'1" at the beginning of the season, but he certainly, it seems like he's grown to me. The next player in the lineup, the point guard, the ball handler, 6-foot junior, Sean Colbert.
Very athletic.
Very athletic.
Point guard.
And he's shown a lot of ability to drive the basket and kick it out to open players or be fouled and go to the line and make those free throws. Brandon Puckett in the power forward slot, 23, 6'2" junior. And then Noah Robledo, kind of a swing player, switches between ball handler and post player pretty fluidly and throughout possessions and even, quarters, whatever.
Noah is just a solid all-around player, can do all of the things you need, but also is a good team player.
Correct, and he likes to get people involved. He likes to be the assist guy on alley-oops. If he can get an open one to Loof, he'll see it flush down tonight. And so we'll see. The Lions are just now finishing up their warm-up. There's about a minute left on the warm-up clock. Everybody moving to their bench. And we'll have the national anthem here shortly. That is going to be performed by Leander's own Madison Cook. Always a good anthem here at the Den. Get the crowd mic turned up so the folks at home can enjoy this anthem. We're going to have the starting lineups first, of course. Glad you're joining us here on SHN Sports, home of Leander Lions basketball. If you've just tuned in, the Lions 8-4 taking on the 5-6 Round Rock Dragons. The Round Rock Dragons, one of the teams that put one of those 4 losses on the line. So Lions looking for some revenge here.
Tonight we have Madison Cook, a junior at Leander High School and a member of the Leander High School Student Council and Choir, who will be leading us in our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Madison Cook, everybody.
Great rendition, as usual, of the anthem by the Leander Choir.
We have some really talented kids at this high school.
It's crazy, huh?
They're coached by Brent Murphy and assisted by Tyler Benderen, Devin Walker, and Grant Reisner. The starting lineup For the Dragons, number 0, 5'10".
Of course, we ran through these lineups with you earlier, but here they are.
Number 1, 6'2", sophomore Jalen Brooks. Number
Miller's
2,
got to be a
6
shooter. What do you think?
Has to
Braden
be.
Lee.
Probably has some ball handling skills
Number
as well.
4, 6'3", senior Jack Peterson. And number 10, 6'1", junior Seth Ford.
That, of course, the Round Rock Dragons, and now for the Lions.
Get here.
And now the starting lineup for your Leander Lions. Number 0, 6'4", senior Zach Meyer. Number 10, 6'1", senior Michael Sickles. Number 11, 5'10", junior Sean Colbert. Number 23, 6'1", junior Brandon Puckett. And number 35, 6'5", junior Noah Robledo. The Lions are coached by Clint Bradley and assisted by Michael Toops, Jeremy Fry, and Ryan Haynes.
Getting ready to get underway here. Big game for the Lions here in 13-6A. I'm joined this evening by Martin Cano. He's been providing color commentary and camera work for all of the home games this season. We really appreciate you doing that for us.
And I do apologize for that occasional lapse with the camera.
It happens, you know. We'll dock your pay. How's that?
That's fair enough.
Or at least a percentage of it, right? Getting ready to get underway here. Robledo there for the tip. Pokes it over to Puckett, who will kick it back to Colbert in the backcourt, and we're underway. Lions going right to left if you're on the audio broadcast. Sickles with the ball on left wing. Passes to Puckett, top of the key, over to Noah Robledo, right wing, then Colbert, top of the wing. He'll dribble around, hand to Sickles. Lions probing the Round Rock defense. Puckett with the basketball now, over to Meyer, top of the key. Sickles left wing, down low to Meyer. Forward there defensively for the Dragons, and the Lions will kick it out and reset. Robledo with a deep three from right wing. Off the front iron, no good. Colbert with a rebound, though. He'll dribble baseline, pull back out, and kick it to Puckett. On the free throw line, he'll get it down to Robledo for a two-pointer on the block, and the Lions get the early lead here. Handling the basketball for the Dragons, Braden Lee. Trying to pick up a passes over to Ford. Deep three from Miller. No good. Robledo with a rebound, and he'll push it the other way. 6:55 here in the first period. Robledo drives baseline, pulls back out, hits Puckett for a deep two, and he rattles it home for a 4-0 lead, and the Lions jump out early.
That's the kind of rattle we like.
Yeah, that's a shooter's rattle. Braden Lee with the basketball now for the Dragons. Guarded by Colbert. He'll kick it over. The Dragons swinging it around. Robledo with great defense there as Brooks tried to drive baseline. Robledo with the block shot out of bounds. It'll be Dragon basketball. Lee will inbound on the baseline. He'll get it out to Brooks on the right wing, and it's tipped away by Robledo as he tried to pass it back. Colbert going coast to coast, and he gets a layup. And we have a quick whistle, timeout. Oh, no, we have an injury, and it looks like Robledo's on the court. That'd be a tough break for the Lions. He's able to get up pretty quickly. You know, sometimes when you got Hollywood good looks, you know, you worry about that mug. Somebody drags their hand across it, you know. Got to look good for the photos, for yearbook.
I have to admit, I didn't see exactly what happened.
I didn't
there.
either. He could have been hurt somewhere else. I was just trying to
But it looked like that was in fact the case.
Yeah, well, it may be in a more private area, but, it's all hurt pride is what it is. And he's going to come out and get a breather. In for him is going to be Youngblood. Forward with the basketball. They work it around, the Dragons do. Forward top of the key, gets it down on the block to Peterson for a layup, and the Dragons have their first points of tonight's ball game. Colbert with the basketball, 6 minutes remaining here, first period. He's being guarded by Lee, drives, pulls up, baseline jumper, no good. Rebound to the Dragons, O'Neal. He gets it over to Lee. Lee passes over to Ford. Ford fakes a three-pointer, drives the lane. His pass stolen, poked away by Sickles. Meyer got the loose ball, hands it back to Sickles. 5:34. Pass to Colbert, top of the key. Lions lead 6-2. Colbert starts his dribble. Gets it to Puckett in front of the free throw line. Puckett drives. A little bit too hard off the glass. Meyer battling for the rebound, but it's going to go to Lee with the Dragons. He'll kick it out to O'Neal, back to Lee. 5:09 left here in the first period. The game 6-2. That's a three-pointer from Miller. 6-5 the score now with 4:53. Colbert with the basketball in the backcourt, and just like that, the Dragons within a point. Pass over to Puckett. Then Sickles, right wing. He'll get it over to Myers, top of the key. Then Youngblood, left wing. The Lions continue to work the ball, looking for an open shot. Colbert from the top of the key drives the lane. His layup attempt is blocked, but there's going to be a foul call against Braden. No, they're going to call Peterson with the foul.
Good drive to the lane.
Yeah, that'll put Colbert at the line. You like those shooting fouls when you're not in the bonus. And the aggressiveness of Colbert has really been beneficial for the Lions in district play. First free throw attempt rattles out, no good. You got to make those, though.
You do. Sean's been to the line quite a few times the last few games because of his ability to drive the inside.
And he's cashed in at the line for the most part. He missed that first one there, though. 4:33 left here in the first. Second free throw attempt off the back of the iron, no good. Rebound to the Dragons, Jack Peterson. He'll get it over to Lee, who'll drive into the near court. Colbert providing the defense, pass. Dragons working it around. Reese with the basketball, probing. Passes over to Lee. And they get it out to O'Neal. Then over to Miller. Then Ford. Over to Lee, left wing. And they continue to work it around. O'Neal with the basketball, right wing, guarded by Robledo. He'll pass to Miller. Miller on the right wing will get it over to Peterson. And they continue to look for an open shot, and they'll get one there for a three-pointer, and it's rattled home by Andrew O'Neal, and the Dragons have a lead here, 8-6. Colbert with the basketball in the backcourt, 3:45. Oh, and it's a steal by O'Neal as Colbert's pass, and Colbert with a great defense there with a block off the backboard, and the Lions work it back the other way. Sickles with the basketball on the right wing. They get driving Puckett, who will get it off the backboard for the layup, 8-8, and that's Tim Duncan-esque.
Very nice.
Dragons working it around. O'Neal gets the ball stolen by Robledo, who's going coast to coast, tries to get a dunk, and Miller grabbed his arm and said, no, sir. Miller's 5'10", he said, you're not going to posterize me. 3:12 on the clock.
He did not want to be on fans.
Right. Don't be on Friday fan stand for that. Robledo will get an opportunity to knock down a couple of free throws, though, with 3:12 remaining in the first period. First free throw attempt is up and good. The 9-8 Lion lead now. Yarborough into the game for the Dragons. Second free throw attempt by Robledo is good, and it is a 10-8 Lion lead. Dragons working it across the timeline. Ford with the basketball over to O'Neal, right wing. He'll get it to Miller near the top of the key, guarded by Sickles. Back over to O'Neal, then Ford, top of the key. Try to get it on the post to Yarbrough, and the defense there by Loof. And then Yarbrough got a rebound and went back up, and he's fouled. And they're going to call Loof with a foul, and said they made contact with Yarbrough's cranium, and looked like was the signal.
Got him just slightly in the back of the head.
It was either that or the referee was telling the scorer's table he could have had a VA. First free throw attempt is good by Yarbrough. It's a 10-9 score. Yarbrough lining up the second free throw attempt here with 2:54 remaining in the first period. It's up, and it's good. It is a tie ball game at 10. Colbert with the basketball in the backcourt. 2:50 remaining here in the first period. He's guarded by Lee. They get it down low to Puckett, and he goes up for a shot, and he's going to be fouled. It looks like that's going to go against O'Neal. Nope. They're going to call that on Ford. 2:42. It's hard for me to guess who they're going to call it on. I think I know, but I'm always wrong.
That was a good interior pass.
Great job by the Lions to work the ball around, and they continue to do that looking for the open shot. Puckett knocks down the first free throw, and he'll line up the second here with 2:42 remaining. Free throws up, and it's rattled in. That's that shooter's rattle. 12-10 is your score. Lee with the basketball, guarded by Sickles. He tries to get it into Yarbrough in the lane, and they kick it around to Brooks. Brooks gets it over to O'Neal, then Ford in the right corner. He'll dribble back out. He gets it to Brooks on the left wing, over to O'Neal, then Yarbrough on the block. Back out to O'Neal, 2:15 on the clock. Robledo guarding O'Neal. O'Neal showing pretty good dribble. His pass is poked away by Meyer, though, and Robledo going the other way, pulls up inside the arc. Shot no good, rebound to Ford. 2 minutes left in the first period. Ford behind his back into the near court. Passes over to Lee. Back to O'Neal. Three-pointer off the back iron, no good. Rebound Colbert. 1:45. Lions pushing the other direction. Colbert showing his skills with the basketball, and there's going to be a foul call as he drives the lane. And that's going to go on number 15, Andrew O'Neal, but it won't be a shooting foul. He wasn't quite enough into the motion.
Wasn't quite there, but again, his ability to drive caused the defense to have to collapse and
Well,
do
it is
something
the
to stop
fourth
him.
team foul against the Dragons, and so those add up as well for the second period. Sickles gets the inbound from Colbert, passes to Robledo on the right wing. Robledo looking for somebody open, cross court to Colbert. Colbert, left wing, dribbles to his right, passes to Sickles. Sickles, right wing. He tries to pass inside, poked away, but Colbert gets the loose ball, tries to get it to Meyer, and it's out of bounds on the baseline. I thought maybe a Round Rock Dragon might have poked that away because of the direction, but no. Dragons with the basketball now. Lee in the near court. Guarded by Colbert, picks up his dribble, passes over to the left wing to Jalen Lee, who drives, and his layup, there's a foul. His layup rolls around the rim and does not go down, fortunately for the Lions. 12-10. He'll go to the line, though. Second team foul against Leander, and that's going to go against Sickles. So Jalen Lee lines up the first free throw, and he knocks that one down. It's a 12-11 score. 1:08 remains here in the first period. Lee gets the second free throw. It's up, off the rim, no good. Ball's loose. Lee is in there, and we're going to have a tie-up between Jalen Lee and Meyer, Zach Meyer of the Lions. It'll be the Lion basketball. Nope. Possession arrow is to the Dragons, so it'll be Dragon ball on the baseline. Ford with a three-pointer from right wing off the inbound pass, no good. Rebound Sickles. Colbert with the basketball in the near court. We're under a minute. He'll pass to Sickles, top of the key, fakes a three. As Jalen Lee came out defensively, pass over to Colbert, and then Robledo. He'll get it to Meyer just inside the arc. Back to Robledo on the block, and there's going to be a foul call against Brooks. And so that'll be Lion basketball on the baseline with 42.5 seconds left here in the first.
That was a good thought, taking it inside to Robledo. Defender was on his back.
It was a very slow developing give and go. Pass into Sickles near the Lion head. Pass over to Robledo near the scorer's table. Brooks there defensively. Robledo picks up his dribble, hands to Colbert. Colbert guarded by Lee, Braden Lee. Pass over to Sickles. We have a Braden and a Jalen Lee both on Round Rock. Colbert with the basketball, gets to Puckett inside the arc, and then he hands back. Nice drive. We got a three-point attempt from Sickles off the front iron, no good. Rebound goes to Brooks of the Dragons. We're at about 8 seconds left here in the period. He's got it on the side, poked away by Robledo. Jalen Lee gets a shot off with no time, but it's no good, and the Lions will go into the second period with a 1-point lead, 12-11.
Well, definitely did a better job of taking care of the ball in the first quarter of this game.
A little haphazard at times offensively. Credit Round Rock playing pretty good defense as well as the Lions. Because, one thing, you might be cold shooting the ball, but you can always hustle, and we're seeing that from both of the squads.
Both teams.
Real quick, rounding out the Lions season after tonight's ball game against Round Rock, the Lions will take on McNeil at McNeil on Friday, and then they'll host Westwood a week from tonight, as Martin mentioned earlier, and then a week from Friday they'll wrap up district play with Vandergrift, and then they'll have a bye the following Tuesday, and so the coaches will be out scouting, hopefully, their playoff opponents. So, there may be something in the works for the team, maybe not on Tuesday night, but something, and, get with the Booster Club if you want more information on that.
Yes, sir.
I'll just leave it at that because I haven't heard a confirmation. I don't want to spoil it. Sickles to inbound for Leander. He gets it to Colbert in the backcourt. Colbert guarded by Jalen Lee. Colbert into the near court. Cross court to Sickles. Sickles gets it to Loof inside the arc, then back across to the left wing where Colbert is waiting. They try to get it to Robledo inside the lane, and it's loose and poked away. O'Neal ends up with it. He'll get it over to Reese Miller. He'll get it to Brooks in the left corner. Guarded by Colbert, preventing an easy open three-pointer. Good defense there and hustle by Sean Colbert. Round Rock working the ball around. Jalen Lee on the right wing drives. And he's going to get a foul and the basket. Robledo tried to get a block. Unable to do so.
A little too much body.
So it'll be 13-12. And an opportunity to extend that. No good on the free throw off the front iron. Ball's loose on the arc, and Jalen Lee able to get the loose ball under Loof, and we'll have a timeout, Round Rock. And Coach Bradley appreciates that timeout because he has a few things to say to his team as well.
That was not a good look down there on that series there.
Yeah, that loose ball, somebody needed to get on that. It was on the ground a little bit too long. 13-12 the score. That's a 30-second timeout. I want to mention the sponsors one more time here in the first half, specifically Sisk Rob Incorporated, their platinum sponsor. They deal with asbestos abatement, mold remediation, lead abatement, and demolition. For information, call 512-260-7171 or by email info@sisk-robb.com. And we're back at it with 7:16 remaining here in the first half. Reese Miller to inbound on the baseline for Round Rock. He'll throw it in to Yarborough near the top of the key, guarded by Loof. He'll kick it over to Jalen Lee, top of the key. He'll hand it to Brooks and then over to Miller on the right wing. Back over to Jalen Lee, who drives the lane, guarded by Youngblood. Misses the layup. Rebound, Robledo, 6:55. Lions trail by 1. Robledo gets called for a carry as he's getting ready to break down the defender, Jalen Lee. Or check that, that was Brooks, Jalen Brooks.
We have to take care of the ball.
Definitely. That's one that you don't see called except for at the middle school and high school level. And that one was very slight, to say the least. Miller with the basketball, guarded by Sickles. 6:42 remaining on the clock. Here in the first half, Miller taking his time, passes across to Jalen Brooks. He'll kick it over to O'Neal, guarded by Robledo. And they'll pass it to Miller. Quick three-pointer, and he knocks it down. Quick release.
Very quick.
Sean Colbert with the basketball for the Lions. It's a 16-12 score. Pass over to Loof on the right wing. Loof gets it back to Colbert. Colbert directing traffic. Pass poked away. Loof able to get the loose ball and get it back to Colbert in the near court. Pass over to Sickles on the three-point tip. He fakes it, dribbles in, misses the two-pointer. Passes to Loof for the layup. Great ball movement there by the Lions to get an open shot. 16-14. Jalen Brooks with the basketball for Round Rock. We're at 5:49. It's a 16-14 score. Youngblood comes out to provide defense on Brooks. They'll pass it in the corner to O'Neal. His three-point attempt no good. Rebound Loof. Over to Sickles in the backcourt. 5:36. Sickles breaking down Miller. Dribbles inside the arc. Passes out to Colbert. Colbert works it around to Youngblood in the left corner. Youngblood dribbles back out. Passes cross-court to Robledo. Robledo starts his dribble near the right wing. Dribbles past Brooks, and he gets one up off the glass. What a strength move there from Noah Robledo, showing that the weight room really does benefit basketball players.
Very strong move to the inside through 3 players.
And they had his arms. He was able to muscle the ball enough to get the ball up over the rim and knock the shot down off the glass.
Yes.
Tie the ball game and get an opportunity to give the Lions a lead here with the traditional three-pointer before there was an arc. Back when we played. Robledo's free throw attempt is good. 17-16 the score. Lions back on top. Braden Lee with the basketball for Round Rock. We're at about 5 minutes, 10 seconds remaining in the half. Jalen Lee with the basketball now. Near right wing, he'll pass it over to Featherstone. Featherstone guarded by Loof. He'll kick it back out to Brooks. Dragons reset. Guarded by Kano. Pass over to O'Neal. Three-pointer is no good. Loof with the rebound. Great job blocking out there. Kano with the basketball in the near court. Dribbling on the right side. Passes over to Youngblood on the right wing. Youngblood probing, passes to Robledo. Robledo near the left wing, gets it to Loof near the free throw line. Back to Puckett. Over in the left corner, he'll dribble out and get it to Loof, top of the key. Lions working it around. Kano with the basketball, 4:25. He'll get it to Youngblood on right wing. He'll get it back to Loof. It's poked away off the bottom of the rim. O'Neal gets the loose ball. Brooks with it now. Over to O'Neal for a three-point attempt from right wing. No good. Rebound Puckett. 4:09 remaining on the clock. Puckett dribbles into the near court. Hands to Youngblood. Loose ball stolen away by Jalen Lee. Then Jalen Brooks has the ball stolen from him by Youngblood. And Coach Bradley says, I've had enough. Let's call timeout. 17-16. The Lions lead with 3:58 remaining here in the first half. This 30-second timeout is going to be brought to you by the bronze sponsors. That's Malik & Company at 512-587-9127. Linton Dental at 512-918-8300. Amy Maddox with Allstate at 512-257-1753. Thank you for your sponsorship of Leander Lions basketball. These broadcasts are made possible by the support of the Booster Club, which is made up primarily of parents.
Yes.
Random teacher, coach.
Absolutely.
3:58 left. Youngblood on the baseline. He'll get it into Kano. Kano guarded by Lee. He'll get it over to Robledo. Then Loof off the glass, no good, no foul call. Round Rock gets the rebound, working it the other way. Jalen Lee, three-point attempt from left wing, no good. Rebound Kano, 3:35. He'll work it into the near court. Looking for a soft spot. Good defense there by the Dragons, and it's poked away, and there's a layup. And that was by Braden Lee. It is an 18-17 score. Lions working in the near court. Puckett, quick jumper, nice stroke there from the junior. 3:08, 19-18 your score. Braden Lee with the basketball in the near court, guarded by Kano on the right wing. He'll get it over to Jalen Lee near the top of the key. He'll dribble into the lane, and he'll kick it back out to Featherstone. Featherstone will work it around to Brooks, who takes a deep three. No good off the back iron. Rebound Robledo. 2:45 on the clock. Robledo pushing it. Will pull up and then drive the lane. Kind of lost control. Gets it to Puckett on the baseline. Jumper is good. That is just drilled it. 21-18.
Nice shot.
Braden Lee. You like to see him do that all in one motion. It's so smooth. Braden Lee thinking about shooting. He'll pass to Ford. Three-point attempt from Ford off the front iron. No good. Robledo rebound. 2:19 remaining. Robledo will slow it up in the backcourt and dribble into the near court. Lions reset. He'll hand it to Kano. Kano guarded by Braden Lee. Pass. They're going to call Robledo for a travel, and he had a turnaround jumper that he just knocked down. 2:03 on the clock. So it'll be Dragon basketball. Ford will inbound. That's Seth Ford will inbound.
I know they called a travel, but that sure was a pretty shot.
Looked good to me. I guarantee you there's some college recruiters that were okay with that shot. Lee works it in. And they'll work it around to Featherstone at the top of the key. Pass back over to O'Neal. Featherstone with the basketball now, guarded by Loof. He'll drive the lane. Loof will get called for a foul, but he's able to prevent a layup from Featherstone there on the right half of the lane. Featherstone will go to the line. Lions on top by 3. Gym pretty packed here on the home side. The student section hasn't sat down for quite a while. Featherstone's first free throw attempt is no good.
The Lions usually have a pretty good home section.
Yeah, and you know, we talked about how we get a ribbon when we happen to lose. It's because of the student section gets real rowdy. But that's okay.
Yes.
You like that as a player. You want that kind of support. Featherstone's second free throw attempt is good. So it'll be 21-19 Lion basketball. Robledo takes the inbound from Sickles, hands it over to Colbert. 1:40 on the clock. Colbert still in the backcourt, dribbles into the near court with 1:35. Guarded by Lee. He'll dribble down the lane, kick it to Sickles, left corner, three-pointer. Off the front of the iron, no good, and we'll have a foul called on the rebound attempt. They're going to say that Colbert got over the back of Braden Lee. Ford will inbound to Lee, 1:27 remaining in the half. The score 21-19. Lee dribbles into the near court. Near right wing, he's guarded by Colbert. Pass to Featherstone, then inside to Ford. Ford tries to pass it to a cutting O'Neal. Lions cut that off. And we have another player cutting to the basket, and that's Braden Lee, and it's poked away by Colbert, but it'll go out of bounds off a Lion, I guess.
We have struggled with those balls on the court.
Can't help it if it bounces funky. 1:10 remaining on the clock. It's 21-19. And the Lions needing a towel from all of that sweat. They're working their tails off out there tonight.
A lot of hustle.
Last thing you want down the stretch is a twisted ankle for something as silly as that.
Absolutely.
Because that's something that you could deal with, get it dried up. Even the referees, they know how hard that floor is. They've fallen before. They don't want to fall. The Dragons will inbound. Lee gets it over to Brooks. Brooks guarded by Sickles. We're at 1:06. He'll back up to the very corner of the front court on the Dragon side, and he'll run that clock down until the Lions decide they're ready to come out and force a count. Sickles waiting for the signal from Coach Bradley. We're at 50 seconds. Coach Bradley okay with not forcing the issue. We're to 40 seconds. You hear the Lion cheerleaders getting into it, and the crowd, 34 seconds. Brooks just taking his time, dribbling there in the corner. This is the most difficult play call I've ever had. Continue to dribble. Okay, Sickles comes out, but no count just yet. 20 seconds, and they hand off to Lee. And we're getting going here now. Colbert back to Brooks, guarded by Sickles. He goes baseline, and he slips, and they're going to get him for a travel. And you know, he's like, what happened? What happened? Well, that's what they were trying to do. And Brooks thinks maybe that Sickles wiped something on the floor there. He helped you out. It would have been a lot worse if it wasn't for that towel. Puckett dribbles into the near court. We're under 10 seconds. We're under 5. He'll pull-up jumper off the glass, no good. Brooks with the rebound, and he'll get a shot off the glass, no good. And that'll be the halftime score, 21-19. We're going to take a break, and we will be back for the second half. So make sure you stay tuned to Leander basketball here on SHN Sports, home of the Lions. We'll be back. Welcome back, everyone, to the Lions Den here, home of the Leander Lions, as we get ready to get into the second half of the matchup between the Lions and the Round Rock Dragons. As we mentioned, the Dragons able to take one from the Lions earlier in district play when the Lions visited Dragon Dome earlier in the year. And, of course, this game here has been quite a battle. Low-scoring defensive, lots of loose balls, lots of hustle plays.
A lot of hustle.
Some great shooting when there's been open shots, but
Yes.
there haven't been a whole lot of those as the defenses have been very aggressive. And we're going to get underway here very shortly in the third period.
A lot of hustle, a lot of work moving the ball around.
The Dragons will have the ball to open the half. And the inbound will go to Lee. He'll hand it to Brooks. Brooks, loose ball, trying to get it over to O'Neal, up to Puckett, and a fast break for the Lions as Sickles gets fouled on the layup attempt, and he's on the ground clapping. His mom was worried. She stood up like, oh, my God. And he's on the ground doing his best Jason Garrett imitation as he'll go to the line with 7:46.
Was a good attempt to score off of the turnover.
You know, I think it was obvious Bradley must have said something to him on those loose balls. Push it. Make something happen. And so that's what the Lions did. Sickles at the line here. First free throw attempt. Knocks it down. 22-19 Lion lead. Sickles will line up the second free throw. Lions have nobody there to get a miss. The shot is good, and that's why
Didn't need him.
Coach very confident in the abilities of Michael Sickles. Lee with the basketball, passes over to Ford in the near court to, that's Miller. Lions working around O'Neal, then Miller right wing. Sickles out on him quickly because he showed a quick release. And we'll have a travel as Jalen Brooks tried to get fancy with his feet before he started his dribble.
A little too ahead of himself. Real quick, Chuck, we got some stats from the first half. We had Brandon Puckett with 10 to lead the Lions and Noah Robledo with 7.
Nice. So Colbert with the basketball into the near court. We'll get it over to Puckett, the points leader so far. Pass over to Meyer, then in the lane to Robledo, and he'll get it up off the glass as he's fouled by Ford. No good on the shot, but it was a good attempt to throw it up there like that.
It was some athleticism there.
He gave it a shot. You get it up over the rim. He made one like that earlier where it was pure strength. First free throw attempt from Robledo is good. 24-19 your score. Referee having a discussion with Ford there on the block. It looked like a pretty animated discussion at that.
Yeah, he was
face
trying
to
to make
face.
a point.
So Robledo will line up the second one, and he misses. No Lion rebounders there, so it'll go to the Dragons. Braden Lee with the basketball, dribbling near the right wing. He'll pass to the top of the key where O'Neal is, then to Brooks left wing. Back across top of the key to Ford. He'll drive down low, where they'll find Braden Lee for a layup amongst the trees, 24-21 with 6:50 on the clock. Nice play there by the Dragons.
Very nice backdoor play.
Lions work it around. Meyer, top of the key. He'll get it down inside the lane to Puckett. Nice spin move. Shot off the glass, no good. Meyer in there to try to break up the rebound from Brooks, but he pokes it out of bounds. It'll be Dragon basketball. 6:36.
That was some good hustle by Meyer not to let him get a clean rebound there.
Definitely not. That's, the kind of play that I think Bradley wants to see. You can't fault a kid for hustling. Dragons working it around. Braden Lee with the basketball, and we're going to have a foul call. No, a timeout. No, there was a foul on Colbert. And so Braden Lee had the basketball at the time, and they're going to inbound it from Ford back to Lee. 6:22 on the clock. That's the first team foul of the Lions. And we have a three-pointer knocked down by Reese Miller. And that quick release, you got to watch that.
That shot was from out there, too.
24-24 the score. Colbert with the basketball for the Lions, gets it over to Puckett. Top of the key, then over to Sickles' right wing. They'll get it to a cutting Puckett in the lane. His shot blocked. Rebound to the Dragons. Braden Lee in the near court gets it over to Jalen Brooks for a deep three. It's no good. Rebound goes to O'Neal. With the Dragons, they'll kick it back out to Jalen Brooks, 5:42. Brooks will dribble near left wing, pick up his dribble, pass over to Ford. Back over to O'Neal near the top of the key, then hand it back to Ford. He'll drive the lane, and he'll have an open lane as the Lion defense collapsed, 26-24. Lions work it to Robledo in the right corner. Off the iron, no good on that three-point tip. Rebound Sickles out to Puckett. Puckett in the right wing, 5:15. Passes to Sickles. They'll get it to Robledo on the block, guarded by Ford. He'll get it over to Colbert, right wing three-point shot. Dagger. 27-26. Lions back on top. Taj Brooks with the basketball. Deep three-pointer from Ford, off the iron, no good. Rebound Robledo. He's got somebody behind him. Robledo senses him, drives down the lane. He was looking to kick it over to Puckett, but he's fouled. We'll see if they'll give him a shooting motion on that. Probably not. Yeah, they're going to say it's
on the floor.
a foul on the floor. So the Lions will inbound from the baseline. We'll have a new player in. That's O'Neal coming in for the Dragons. Kicked over to Colbert, right wing. Colbert passes to Sickles. Sickles fakes to Puckett. Starts his dribble, then passes to Puckett, 4:40. Puckett gets it to Robledo, top of the key. Robledo fakes a three, passes to Colbert near right wing. Colbert dribbles back, passes across court to Sickles. Sickles sets up a screen and then goes baseline for the layup. Nice little intelligent play there from the senior guard, and the Dragons quickly working it into the near court. Jalen Brooks over to O'Neal, then to Miller, then Brooks. They try to get to Ford down low, and they do. And Ford with a layup, 29-28. Colbert with the basketball. 4 minutes remaining here in the third period. Colbert guarded by Lee. He'll hand it off to Sickles on left wing. He'll get it over to Puckett. Puckett drives the lane, and he's fouled hard. Puckett showing some strength there too, as he drops the defender just from his layup attempt. That was Peterson taking the brunt of that, even though he was delivering the foul, and you can tell he's feeling it, moving around a little slowly out there.
Brandon didn't move too much on that one.
Well, he's used to running between the tackles when it's football season, so 3:49 on the clock. Used to contact, in other words.
Yes, sir.
First free throw attempt, off the iron, no good. The Lions will go down and see if they need to get a rebound here on the second attempt. It'll be Robledo and Loof. 3:49 again on the clock. Free throw attempt is in for Puckett, 30-28. Lee with the basketball for the Dragons. He'll pass over to Jalen Lee. Jalen will get it back to Braden Lee, left corner, three-pointer, no good off the iron. Rebound to O'Neal. His shot attempt blocked by Puckett, and that's Robledo with a loose ball going coast to coast. Three defenders on him. He'll get it to Puckett near the free throw line. Puckett will think about driving and kick it out to Colbert with 3:20.
That was a good move. Throw it back out.
Yeah, you got to reset it. It's a tight ball game. You want those shots to count. You're not getting a whole lot of them. They better be good ones. Puckett with the basketball from Colbert in the lane. Turnaround, and he's fouled by Jalen Lee on the shot. It's not going to drop, but he'll go to the line. And that'll be the 5th team foul against the Dragons.
Puckett has been playing strong on the inside.
Yeah, he's playing with a lot of confidence tonight. And knock these free throws down and continue to build that confidence. 3:06 on the clock. Sickles again in charge of wiping up the sweat. Hopefully he got it all this time. Puckett at the line. working through his routine. Shots up. Swish.
Nothing but net.
And he'll line up the second one here. It's a 31-28 line lead. Shot up. And it's good. And we have a substitution. Puckett comes out of the game for Youngblood in. Braden Lee with the basketball for the Dragons in the backcourt. 3 minutes remaining here in the third. Colbert there defensively. They get it to O'Neal near the free throw line. He'll pass it over to O'Neal. O'Neal near right. They'll get it to Jalen Lee, then Braden Lee on left wing. Back out. Shot blocked from O'Neal. Loose ball to Robledo, and then the alley-oop from Sickles to Colbert. He didn't get the dunk, but he got it in there. 2:30. Dragons driving. That's Braden Lee, and there's a foul called as he drives the right side of the lane. He'll go to the line. Line's on top, 34-28.
That was a nice put it up there and help.
Fast break, nice job by all involved. Only Colbert jumped a little bit too early, but he was still able to get his hands on the ball and get it up over the iron and in for the basket, and that's what counts.
That's exactly what counts.
The first free throw is good from Braden Lee, 34-29. Second free throw off the iron. Rebound Robledo for the Lions. He'll get it over to Michael Sickles with 2:20 remaining. He'll pass it to Colbert. The Lions will set 2:15. Pass to Sickles, right wing. Guarded by Peterson. Lions work it around from Loof to Youngblood. Youngblood has an opening down the lane, and he's hammered by Jalen Lee, but they're just going to say block out of bounds.
It was blocked all right.
Yeah. Coach Bradley is just incensed, and so are the fans here. Lions are working it in. Sickles with the basketball from the inbound of Colbert across to right wing where Robledo thinks about baseline, then backs up. Kicks it out to Colbert, then around to Youngblood, then Sickles on left wing. Sickles being hounded by Jalen Lee. He'll get it over to Robledo near the top of the key. Seth Ford, the defender there. They'll hand it to Colbert, guarded by Braden Lee. Colbert dribbles to his left, gets it to Sickles in the corner, then Robledo on the block. Shot blocked, and he goes back up, and there's a foul against Jalen Lee.
Good opportunity.
Yeah, you know, he missed his first shot, but he was able to get the rebound and go back up strong. Was unable to make the basket, but he'll have that opportunity here at the line. And that's the 6th team foul against the Dragons, which is important down the stretch.
Yes, sir. Being the bonus from this point forward.
First free throw from Robledo is good. 35-29 your score. Robledo lines up the next one. Misses, rebound Puckett. He tries to go back up strong, and he's fouled by Jalen Lee, and that'll be the 7th team foul for the Dragons.
Brandon is having a good game tonight.
Excellent job by Puckett tonight. Shown up really big in this home game where, you know, the Lions need some of those other guys to really step up, and Puckett taking on that role this evening with 1:26 remaining in the third. He'll shoot his first free throw attempt, and it'll rattle it in. The shooters rattle.
We've had some good ones tonight. Both teams, actually.
He's shown it, you know. He knocks them down. They sometimes bounce around, but they go down. Great job at the line tonight. Misses that one. Rebound goes to Yarborough. He'll get it over to Jalen Lee, 1:20 remaining. Jalen Lee in the near court. Passes over to Ford. Ford gets it to Yarborough. Yarborough back over to Lee. Yarborough with the basketball, backs up, shoots a three off the iron, no good. Rebound Ford, he puts it back. Good job by Seth Ford there for the Dragons. 36-31. Colbert in the near court with the basketball. Is fouled by Ford. Ford kind of knocked him into the visiting bleachers.
Ford is not exactly a small young man.
No, he's pretty thick. He's not going to tower over too many basketball players, but you're not going to run through him very easily either. Kind of that Barkley-shaped player.
Yes.
So Colbert will go to the line. There'll be some substitutions. Robledo will get a breather here in the final moments of the third period. Meyer will come into the game. Youngblood in along with Colbert, Loof, and Puckett. And we're going to have a foul called against Puckett as he kind of pushed off as he tried to get position. You know, that's kind of what you ask him to do.
Yeah.
Can't be real mad about that one.
No.
So 36-31, Braden Lee with the basketball for the Dragons. He'll dribble into the near court. We're under a minute, under 50 seconds. Pass over to Yarborough, and they'll swing it around to Miller. Youngblood out there defensively. O'Neal, then back over to Sawyers. Miller just being hounded by Youngblood. Youngblood's like, I'm not going to give you that quick release, man.
No, sir.
Youngblood showing a defensive skill out there for the Lions, but he'll get called for the foul. It'll be the Lions' third team foul, and so the Dragons will inbound from the visitor side. It'll be Peterson inbounding to Braden Lee. We're at 30 seconds remaining here in the third period. Colbert comes out to force Lee to dribble. It'll be a pass over in the corner to Sawyer. Sawyer will dribble out, guarded by Puckett, and they're going to get Puckett for a foul. Coach Bradley not pleased with that call. 36-31 the score. 19.6 seconds remaining. O'Neal, or Peterson rather, to Lee. Lee dribbles near right wing, guarded by Colbert. We're down to about 10 seconds. Colbert drives, tries to kick it out to Sawyer from the right corner. His shot no good. And we're going to have a foul, or a out of bounds actually, on the baseline against Yarborough. Because if it was a foul, we'd be at the line with, with 8 team fouls against Round. And the Lions have inbound and let the clock burn down as we go into the fourth period. Lions on top, 36-31. Going to give one last shout out here to our sponsors. Sisk Rob, they're the platinum sponsor in support and promoting bradysbridge.org. Make sure you spend a few minutes this evening at bradysbridge.org. We also want to mention the bronze sponsors of Lion basketball. Those sponsors are Malik & Company, Linton Dental, and Amy Maddox with Allstate. We appreciate the support provided by those businesses for the Booster Club and our guys here for Leander basketball.
We have some good sponsors and hope that people will help support them as well.
That's right. You know, anything you do to support those businesses, it gets trickled down, and I can attest that these businesses have been sponsoring Lion Sports for numerous seasons, for as long as I've been doing games here at Leander, which is a good 5 or 6 years, at least that long. So make sure you support those businesses as they continue to pour profit into the community. And we're getting ready here in the final period. Lions lead 36-31. Sickles will inbound as the Lions will start the period with the basketball. He'll get it to Colbert in the backcourt. Braden Lee out defensively for the Dragons. Hand off to Sickles down the left side. They'll pass it back to Colbert on the left wing. To a cutting Robledo on the left side of the lane. He spins and is fouled. And they're going to get Sawyer with that foul, and that'll put Robledo at the line, even if it wasn't a shooting foul. But it was. He'll get 2 opportunities here.
Next foul will be in the double bonus.
That's right. And they wanted to discuss, was it a shooting foul or was it a normal foul? And they said it was a shooting foul, so he'll get 2 shots, regardless of what happens here on the first. Doesn't matter. He knocks it down anyway, 37-31. So Robledo will line up the second free throw. These are big here late. Off the front of the rim and in. 38-31. Shooter's roll. Lee with the basketball, guarded by Colbert. Lee will back it up, looking for an open man, gets it to Sawyer, over to Brooks in the left corner, then out Miller with a quick three, and he knocks it down, and there's a quick timeout. You got to get somebody on him.
That kid will shoot.
You know, you look at a typical lineup of high school players, you're not going to see many 5'10" guys on the starting lineup, especially when their weight's about 120. And it's pretty obvious you see a guy like that, you need to put a man on him. Yeah,
he's a shooter.
And he's shown range, and that release is so quick. 38-34 the score, and the Lions are going to have to contend with that down the stretch, as it may be the only thing that keeps Round Rock in this. The Lions continue to try to build a little bit of a lead, and then Reese Miller will come along and hit a three-pointer from Cedar Park High School, and just like that, they're within a few points.
I think that young man's had 3 threes tonight,
and all in the second half.
Yes.
And he's worked his way open on all 3 of those shots, as the Lions didn't have a defender near him.
Right, just wide open, and a couple
and by
of them.
the time you're going towards him, he's already released the basketball.
Quick release.
So Sickles will inbound here, baseline, 7:28. He'll get it to Colbert in the backcourt, guarded by Braden Lee. He'll get it back across court to Sickles, still in the backcourt. Sickles stops his dribble, gets it across court in the near court to Colbert. Back across court to Sickles. The Lions are making the Dragons work. Sickles waiting for the count, and there it is. He'll start his dribble, get it back across court to Colbert, back across to Sickles. Braden Lee working between the two, playing a little game of keep away. Sickles starts to drive in to right wing. He'll get it to Colbert near the top of the key. Colbert will get it back out to Sickles. 6:50. Lions working that clock. He'll get it over to Colbert on right wing. He'll drive baseline. It's a scoop and score as he's fouled by Jack Peterson with a nice move baseline. Showed that quickness, and then he just did a little scoop, little Iceman George Gervin for you San Antonio fans.
Beautiful drive.
Of course, I'm a Mavericks fan, but hey.
I'm a Rockets fan.
Takes all kinds, right?
That's right.
41-34 your score. Lee with the basketball for the Dragons, 6:40. He'll get it to Yarborough. Yarborough will get it back out to Miller. Sickles trying to get to him defensively. Miller able to get the shot off, but a hand up from Sickles caused him to miss. Colbert going the other way, and he gets the layup. He goes coast to coast with that rebound. What a scoop.
Strong move to the inside.
That one rivaled the scoop we saw moments ago from Noah Robledo. And so Colbert will get an opportunity to get the traditional three-pointer. Shot up and good. And the Lions build it out to 10 points. Braden Lee with the basketball in the near court, guarded by Colbert. He's near the top of the key. He'll pass it over to O'Neal. They work it around to Brooks. Brooks works back right, pass to Lee, then to O'Neal on the right wing. Then they get to Miller. Sickles out there defensively as they work it down low, and they get a three-point attempt from O'Neal. Rattles out, rebound Braden Lee as he got good position, and a foul's going to be called on Robledo with 6 minutes to go. That'll be the sixth team foul against the Lions. And so the Dragons will inbound baseline, 6 minutes to go. Lee trying to get it in. He gets it over to Ford on the right wing. Ford drives across the lane, kicks it back out to Braden Lee. Back to Ford near left corner. Poked away by Meyer. Great defense as they tried to get a pass inside to Featherstone, and Meyer got a hand on it. Lions get a loose ball and a foul called as Robledo will go to the line. in the bonus.
We'll take the good defense with the opportunity.
Meyer set this up by just getting in that passing lane and poking it away. Robledo's first attempt, no good. It's a double bonus. The Dragons trying to work it back the other way on the miss, but Robledo gets a second opportunity here.
Got to give them credit for being ready.
You know, you're not going to be mad at your players for trying to get a rebound, even if it's on the unnecessary moment. 45-34, Lions on top. Braden Lee with the basketball. We're at 5:45. They're trying to find Miller for one of them three-pointers. He continues to work away with Sickles. He has the basketball now, goes inside the arc, tries to get a lay-in, rebound Puckett on the miss. Over to Colbert. Colbert in the near court. Tries to drive it. He gets poked away. Puckett gets a loose ball back out to Sickles. 5:25. Miller there defensively for the Dragons. Sickles picks up his dribble, hands to Colbert. Lee guarding him, 5:19. Colbert dribbles to his left, passes to Sickles near the lion head. Miller there defensively. Sickles drives by. Nice layup by Michael Sickles. 47-34, showing quickness and body control. 5:03 on the clock. Braden Lee driving. Tries to get it to Featherstone. Blocked by Meyer, but they're going to call a foul. Who are they going to call it on? Let's see. They're going to call it on Meyer. So Featherstone will go to the line.
Must have got him a little bit, clipped him with the body, because that was a.
He had his hands straight up.
Looked like a good block.
You know, a lot of times that's what it is that hit will get you. First free throw attempt from Featherstone is no good. 4:57 remains in tonight's ball game. The Lions looking to continue to build on a fantastic 13-6A campaign. Miss by Featherstone on the second attempt, rebound Lions. Colbert with the basketball now in the backcourt. Clock going. He gets it across court to Sickles in the backcourt still. And we're going to have a backcourt violation. Didn't get the ball across in time. Lions taking too much time.
A little too slow.
Jalen Brooks will inbound for the Dragons. He'll get it in the backcourt to Braden Lee. 4:40. Lee will dribble into the near court, guarded by Colbert. Pass over to Brooks near left wing. He's guarded by Robledo. He'll drive on the left side, kick it out, and they work it around, trying to find an open man. Braden Lee fakes the three. They try to get it to Featherstone on the block. He gets it. He misses the turnaround. Loose ball. Robledo has it. Him and Featherstone struggling for it. And let's see what the call is. The arrow going with the Dragons at the moment, it looks like. Crowd giving the referees the business. Sickles drying the basketball now. He's the opposite of the water boy.
He is.
He's drying it all up. He's filling it up, though, tonight. 4:21 remaining in the ball game. Lions have a 13-point lead. Their biggest lead of the night, I believe.
Yes, it is.
I think they've had a 10-point lead one other time. But the Dragons have been able to continue to cut into that lead and stay close. At the hand of Reese Miller. They'll get it into Brooks on the base from the baseline. They'll get it over to Lee. And then Miller guarded by Sickles. He'll have to drive into the arc and miss the jumper. Great defense by Sickles. Colbert with a rebound. He'll work it in the near court. Then it's Robledo. He fakes a shot and misses the reverse, gets his own rebound and puts it back.
Good hustle, good hustle.
Yeah, he's upset he didn't get a dunk opportunity there. Lee with the basketball. Drives across the lane, fakes a shot. Rebound goes to Yarbrough. Back out to Ford. Ford near left wing will kick it to Yarbrough. Shot from left corner for three is good. Big fella knocking down the three. 49-37. Sickles with the basketball in the backcourt. 3:35. He'll get it to Colbert. And we got a foul against Ford as Colbert was crossing midcourt, getting that pass from Sickles. And so that'll put Colbert at the line. And these are huge, huge, huge.
Very big free throws.
3:33 on the clock. And Colbert, you know, you got to have some confidence in Colbert at the line. So that's going to be the 5th foul by Ford. He shakes Coach Bradley's hand and goes to the bench. So Jalen Lee will come in for him, and Leander will just call a timeout. Woo! What a ball game.
Good ball game. Like you say, these free throws are big. This is could put us out just a little more and make it even more difficult on them. Put some pressure.
We talk about 13-6A and how tough it is, and it's been nothing but tough. And no matter what the sport is, the district has got just deep teams across the board.
Very competitive.
And the Lions have done well this basketball season, looking to push to 9 wins. We talked to Coach Bradley pregame, and he felt like that if the Lions could get their 9th win tonight, that they pretty much have solidified a playoff spot. But you don't want to go on a losing skid, and it all becomes about positioning at that point. So Lions in second with Westwood tied. And, of course, Westwood on the horizon as well.
Yes. Well, we take care of business. It won't matter what the other teams do.
You like to have that opportunity to, you don't have to worry about what other people do, just what you do.
That's right.
And if you can get yourself in that type of position heading down the stretch of district play, you've got to be pretty happy with it so far. First free throw attempt from Colbert is good, and the Lions have a 50-cent piece on the board. Still 3 minutes to go, looking to try to push that 7-0 number. Colbert misses the second free throw. Rebound goes to Yarborough. He'll hand it to Brooks, 3:29. Brooks in the near court. Hesitates, drives down the right side of the lane, pulls up, hits a jumper from about 8 feet. 50-39. Pass over to Sickles in the backcourt. Sickles gets it to Robledo in the near court. 3:12 on the clock. Robledo dribbles to his right, and he's fouled by Brooks. And so Robledo will go to the line for some easy points. You got to knock them down, but
they're definitely going to keep fouling.
Yeah, well, it's their only opportunity, and with a shooter like Miller and apparently Yarborough, you might as well give yourself an opportunity. But the Lions can also extend the lead just by knocking these free throws down. First one good from Robledo. 51-39, because those three-pointers are, as hard as free throws are to make, three-pointers are even harder.
Yes, they are.
But maybe unless you're Reese Miller, they didn't look very hard to him. 52-39.
Easy, smooth free throw there.
Yep, Brooks with the basketball in the near court, guarded by Robledo. He'll get it over to Jalen Lee, guarded by Colbert. Lee dribbles around, poked out by Sickles as they try to get Miller a three-point opportunity in the corner, and Sickles has decided you're not going to get any easy shots the rest of the game.
That was good anticipation.
He's putting the clamp down. He also is getting some offense out of it, but Dragons working it around. Jalen Lee kicks it out to Jalen Brooks. Back to Jalen Lee on the left wing. He'll drive and spin to his left. Shot no good. Rebound Yarborough. And we'll have a foul call. Looks like that's probably going to go against Puckett. Nope, they're going to call Meyer for the foul. Nope. Yeah, 1 for 1. And so Yarborough will go to the line for the Dragons. Coach Bradley, very vocal on the sideline. He knows the importance of this. Free throw miss, rebound Robledo. And he's fouled by Jalen Lee as he starts to turn. And so Robledo will go to the line and have an opportunity to add to his point total. And the Lion point total for that matter.
Free throws are very important.
Yeah, I always say they don't call them easy throws, though. I mean, I call them easy sometimes, but I know better. I've shot them before. I'm not very good at it. I'm like the Shaq.
I'm sitting up here for a reason.
Yeah, that's right. Those who can't play anymore at least, they coach. And those who could never play, they talk about it.
That's what we do.
So Braden Lee with the basketball, 2:30. Lions on top, 54-39. Lee kicks it over to Brooks in the right corner. He'll dribble inside the arc and knock a baseline jumper down from about 12 feet. 54-41. The Lions get it in the backcourt. Robledo with the basketball, and he's fouled by Jalen Lee. Of course, he can't believe it, and Robledo will go to the line. Yeah, there is a thing. It's a reach-in foul. You can't just slap somebody's arm, and that looks like what happened. Round Rock coach looking for some explanation, but he's not willing to stand up to get it. He's getting it, too. The referee not afraid to get in any participant's face and explain.
He's not, but he is smiling.
No, he's not rude about it, but
No.
he's not afraid to, he knows it's loud. They need to hear what he's saying, so he's just very personable.
Yes.
And he's got an old school basketball haircut. You can't go wrong with a flat top.
That was the 5th foul there on Brooks.
Yeah, I think that was the discussion was you're really going to call that as the 5th foul on my player? So Robledo's free throw attempt rattles around. First shot no good. So he'll get another chance here. The Lions in the double bonus, but looks like the Dragons are as well, as the Lions have 18 fouls. He'll knock the second down for a 55-41 lead. Braden Lee with the basketball. He'll get it over to Jalen Lee, back to Braden Lee. Then Miller, deep three, no good off the iron, rebound Puckett. Puckett will get it to Sickles. We're at 2 minutes. Dragons try to trap him. He'll get it to Colbert. Colbert gets an alley-oop over to Robledo. He wanted to make sure it went down, so he didn't really flush it. 148. Miller with the basketball, kicks it over in the corner. Three-pointer, high arcing three-pointer from O'Neal. That was a Lance Blanks-esque three-pointer. If you saw any Longhorn basketball in the 90s, that thing almost hit the rafters. You're not careful with that, you'll get the ball out of bounds by hitting the wire there, holding the.
That looked like a World B free three-pointer from the NBA.
Well, Lance Blanks was the same way. He played a little bit of time in the NBA as well, and I'm like, I guess it prevents your shot from being blocked. I
guess so.
You'd have to be 18 feet tall to block that last three-pointer. Colbert misses the second of two, but made the first, 58-44. Dragons in the near court with a minute and a half. They'll kick it over in the corner. O'Neal, three-point attempt, no good. Rebound Yarborough. Kicks it back to O'Neal, and they'll get it to Braden Lee on the block. And he loses the ball out of bounds as Colbert was coming to try to block his shot. But it will be Lion basketball with 1:21. It looks like we're pretty much in hand here with a 14-point lead under a minute and a half left. We're at 1:21. Sickles inbounds to Robledo. He's trapped immediately, but he dribbles around it, gets to Puckett in the near court. Puckett picks up his dribble, gets it over to Colbert, guarded by Miller. Colbert fakes, gets it across court to Sickles. 1:08. Sickles gets it to Puckett, top of the key. Puckett back out to Sickles. Sickles down to Meyer on left wing, back out to Sickles, over to Puckett, to the corner where Robledo is sitting. He fakes a three, dribbles out. Yarborough comes out defensively, and Robledo gets it to Puckett on the block with a no-look pass. Puckett picks it back up and gets it back to Robledo. We're at 43 seconds. Lions showing they can move the ball around. Robledo with the basketball, picks up his dribble, gets it over in the corner to Meyer, then back out to Robledo. We're at 33 seconds, over to Sickles. Sickles gets it to Puckett. Lions continue to work it around, not even looking for a shot. Over to Robledo, 24 seconds. Poked by Jalen Lee, and they'll work it around back to Puckett, through Meyer, and then to Sickles. 15 seconds remaining, Sickles dribbling. We'll get it to Puckett, over to Meyer in the corner. We're at 10 seconds. 8, 5, Well, Martin, ball game Lions, 58-44. Your Lions move to 9-4, and they have a game this Friday, and they will travel over to McNeil. So make sure you come out and support your Lions as they try to push that district record to 10-4. If you can't make it, get the link from the Booster Club for your video link for Lion basketball on SHN Sports. And thank you for tuning in tonight. For Martin Kano, our sponsors, I'm Chuck Cracy. We'll see you next time. Thanks for listening.